Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Red Spot Irish Whiskey. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Red Spot 15-year-old Irish Whiskey. This is the final review of my Irish Whiskey Month series, and I'm giving away a sample of this and all the other whiskies featured, plus a bonus dram. If you want to find out how to win them, then just keep watching and I'll give you details at the end. Red Spot Irish Whiskey is the top of the range Irish whiskey from the Mitchell & Sons Spot range. It's a 15-year-old pot still whiskey from the Middleton distillery, and it's aged in ex-bourbon, ex-sherry and Masala wine casks. It's bottled at 46% ABV. It retails for £120 in the UK, but can regularly be found for £105. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whiskey. Right, so before I start nosing and tasting, I will point out that I'm using my Túath Glass. It's Ireland's answer to the Glencairn. If you'd like one, I'll put a link in the description so you can find out where to get one. So let's have a look at the colour. I'd say that's like a russet. It's really got a nice red tinge to it. Let's start with the nose. Right, so the first thing I get is buttery biscuit. That's quite synonymous with pot still Irish whiskies. There's like a hint of pear drops. And there's a hint of tropical fruit. There's definitely not much going on the nose. The flavours that are there are quite bold, but there's not really much. There's maybe a hint of dark fruits, you know, sort of like soaked raisins. But yeah, there's not much going on the nose. Those flavours are quite bold and defined, but yeah, not much going on. Let's try it on the palate. So, a little bit like the nose, immediately I'm not getting many flavours, but you get toffee, you get burnt caramel. That turns into those Lotus biscuits, you know, those Biscoff caramelised biscuits. Then it starts to turn from sweet to dry. So let's have another sip. Yeah, so you're getting sort of like dry sherry or dry red wine. It's really quite noticeable. But in there's like brown sugar, like muscovado, and there's like a sweet cereal, like barley or oats. And then with that dryness, it comes back. It's lightly tannic. It's starting to dry my taste buds a little bit. And then I'm getting a hint of tropical fruit, like I picked up on the nose. Let's have one last sip. Yeah, and the more you sip it, the more it becomes viscous in your mouth, oily, coats the palate well. But there's a hint of sort of acetone, sort of alcohol vapour that lingers. It's not off-putting, but it is noticeable. And then with the finish, I'd say it's quite long. There's a little bit of heat, a little bit of peppery prickle. There's like sweet icing sugar. There's a little bit of dry wood, and some of that is like tannic dryness. And there's even like a hint of orange oil, which is quite nice as it lingers on the palate. It's an impressive whiskey. Those flavours are quite bold. Those flavours are quite well defined, but there's not many flavours going on. I think the Masala wine maybe masks some of those lovely sweet flavours which pack a real punch in other spot whiskies, and this is lacking slightly because I think that wine takes over. At £105, or even its retail £120, is it worth it? You know what, I'd say it's a bit of a struggle to say yes. Yes, it's nice. It's nice to try it. I'd give, you know, I think everybody would be pleased to try this, but for my palate, it just seems a little bit steep. Obviously, it's a 15-year-old pot still whiskey. There's not many of those on the market, so it really is in a league of its own. But in terms of value, I think it's stretching it for most people, unless you really are a spot fan, or you know, that Masala wine profile really does hit the spot for you. But if that does sound up your street, I'll put a link in the description so you can find out where to get it. Moving on to the competition, if you'd like to win a dram of this, plus all the other whiskies I've featured in this series, plus a bonus dram, then just leave a comment. You know, have you had a Masala wine finished whiskey before? What was it like? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried this? If you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that too. But leave a comment either way, and that's all you need to enter. I'll put details in the description with all the rules and regulations, but you must be over 18 and you must live in Europe. Well, this is the end of the Irish Whiskey Month series for 2021. I hope you've enjoyed it, and good luck in the competition, and I'll see you for my next review. Stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.